Hello, my name is Linda Howell, and I am teaching a class this semester in the spring 2016 semester on the television show Supernatural. I was asked to discuss the course and talk about what we're going to be doing in the class for the documentary that's being put together by Two Sharks Media. And so I thought I would start out by, first of all, kind of introducing myself and my interests. I am an instructor here at the University of North Florida. I'm a writing instructor, actually. My research and scholarship is about plagiarism, and more specifically about digital literacy and adolescent literacy practices. That research actually in part is informed by my interest in fandom studies. And for the last few years, I've offered courses in both our lower division general education writing sequence and our upper division English major in fandom studies. For example, I did a course on fandom and new media. And then last year I did a course called Fandom and Television Fandom. During that course, we did a 6-week case study on Supernatural, which actually inspired my pitching this class, Television as Literature, Supernatural, to my chair. So one of the things I thought I would do to discuss the course is actually to talk about the 3 questions that I presumed that I would be asked when I was going to pitch the course, and use those 3 questions to actually describe the course for you. The first question, of course, is why Supernatural? And there are a lot of different answers to that question, but I'd like to really condense it down into 3 areas. One is, as my colleagues will tell you, both my colleagues and my friends and fellow fans who've talked to me about this, I think that Supernatural is a fantastic case study in television storytelling. And what do I mean by that? Well, it is a story that has been going on for 11 years now, and it has actually stood witness to a lot of cultural events that have taken place. It's because of its fantasy scape, because of it's in a genre, it often can tell stories about contemporary culture in a way that regular dramas maybe can't. They can use like metaphors such as monsters to talk about things such as immigration, which is one of the issues I think is very prevalent in the show, and we'll talk about that in the course. I also think that Supernatural, because of its time frame, is a very poignant and potent post 9/11 narrative. You have 2 young men who are growing older, of course, but they're on the byways and highways of the American roads. They're from the Midwest. They're fighting against these kind of unknown evil monsters and trying to keep America safe to a certain degree. So Supernatural, in its actual text, is a very rich story. And contingent with that, or parallel to that, is the fact that this show has created such a passionate fandom, and that fandom has done such good work, and it has become such a coherent community that it's become part of the brand of the actual show. And so there's a lot of different things or a lot of different questions to bring to bear to interrogate the show itself. So why Supernatural? Well, why not Supernatural? And so that was the first question. The second question I was expecting to be asked is, what are students going to do in this class? Well, students will be practicing a lot of different writing. And it's important to note that this course is part of our general education writing sequence. And so Supernatural in this course becomes an occasion to practice all different types of writing. And for example, if you look at the syllabus, students will be producing anything from what I call an adapted autoethnography, which is a basic research method that most students who go into professional fields such as social sciences or even humanities need to know what it is and need to know what it entails, all the way to the final project in the course, which is actually a spin-off proposal that the students are going to put together. And the spin-off proposal is really a way of getting them to practice how to write a business proposal. It's getting them to understand that when you're looking at something and you're proposing something, you have to be able to make the argument and be able to create and produce evidence that will support that argument. This spin-off proposal will also require them to do a 2-minute video pitch that will be posted on YouTube. The video pitch is for them to practice presentation skills and video recording skills, understanding how to edit so that they get the most effective and efficient product they can. So students will be learning a various number of writing techniques and presentation techniques. And so for the class, Supernatural becomes the content that they can practice those techniques around. And the final question, which is a question that's always asked of any class that you're doing, and that is, when a student finishes the class, what should that student be able to do? What has that student not only learned, but has learned and will be able to transfer into other courses and into their professional lives? And that's kind of tangent with the second point, the fact that they'll be getting to practice all these different writing techniques. But I think of it, to go back to my, by the three, there are three things that I want students to be able to walk out of the class with. First, it's important to know that with television, with any kind of storytelling, but specifically with things such as television or theater or any type of storytelling that requires collaboration, that the finished product that you see is the product of various, like hundreds of craftspeople coming to bear on that product. So when I sit down on Wednesday night at 9 o'clock and I'm watching Supernatural, I'm watching the work of thousands, hundreds of people in a very short 44-minute block. And so students should be able to see that you can take apart a text and you can make what seems invisible visible. And that's an important skill no matter what field you're in. If you go into, let's say you go into accounting, you have to be able to look at data and you have to be able to take it apart and see how it works. The second thing I want students to be able to walk out of the class with is an understanding and an appreciation that there is a difference between liking something and being critical about it, and what those techniques of critique are. And that criticism isn't always, and nor should it be, negative, that it really is a process of engaging with a text in a number of different ways. And so in this course, students will be doing weekly episode reviews that will be posted and that are posted currently online. And they have to understand that I'm not simply their audience, that their audience are all those people who possibly could be looking for information about Supernatural. So I want students to be public writers, not simply writers in a classroom. And then the final thing I'd like for students to walk out of the class with is a wide range of skills that they can take and that Supernatural has facilitated them to be able to practice in a way that they're engaged in. And I think all of the students actually in this course are engaged with Supernatural because Supernatural is an engaging text. And more so than anything, that's worthy of study, if nothing else. So if you're interested, the class actually has a Twitter hashtag, hashtag SPNUNF. It also has a blog site, Supernatural Student Roundtable.blogspot.com, and that's where all the materials and the artifacts for the class will be published and posted. And we invite constructive conversation about not only the class but about the text. Thank you.